In this video, I'm going to continue my user interface work with the start screen that allows you to pick a team. So I'm also going to introduce the team service. You can see up here with this leaderboard, we have tigers, cobras, and neutral. I have not picked a team yet. Let's go ahead and pick a team, and we'll be teleported to the map in our area. There we go. Not only are we in our area, we're facing our enemy, and our camera is facing the enemy too. That's important. We don't want to have the camera like this in some sort of one-on-one battle. So I'm going to introduce that too. Let's go ahead and get a fresh world and get started with that. UI components, team service, and camera manipulation, simple camera manipulation. So here I have a new base plate, a fresh base plate, nothing in it. Let's go to workspace, open that up. We'll go to base plate itself and delete. There we go. We'll make a little lobby, add a part. The part is going to be lobby, L-O-B-B-Y. And let's anchor it before we do anything so it doesn't fall. Anchored. Now I'm going to go up and change the size under the properties on the lobby. 50 by 1 by 50. Cool. My collisions are off. That's why this is absorbed into the lobby plate. Let's make sure they're off. And we'll change this position. Let's change position. 0, -0.5, and 0. There we go. Now it's looking good. Let's go ahead and duplicate in place. Control D. Let's call this tiger floor. Tiger floor. And we'll move it. Size, we'll keep it the same. Let's go ahead and move that 100 studs on the X. And then maybe 25 on the Z. There we go. We're out there. Let's get closer. Hit F. Boom. Cool. So that's my tiger floor. Let's make let's make it orange. This is tigers, right? There we go. Deep orange. Cool. It should be anchored because we duplicated from lobby. And let's duplicate it again. Collisions are off, so it'll duplicate in place. Control D. Let's call this tiger spawn. This is going to be my one spawn point. I know I should be putting more spawn points in there. We'll get to that at some point. Let's move this. Let's make it smaller and move it up. So this is a spawn location. So I'm going to make it small. I'm going to make it 1 by 1 by 1. I am going to position it. I'm just going to change the Y to a 5.5. There we go. See how it popped up right there? That's pretty good. All right, I'm going to turn collisions off so we don't bump into it. It is a spawn location. We don't have to see it. So I will go to transparency and make it 1. Cool beans. All right, I'm going to take these two parts. I'm going to do Control D. And these are going to be my Cobra floor and Cobra spawn. We can change the color. We'll make it, let's not change color. Let's do brick color. Let's go to brick color. Grime. I can remember grime. I can't remember like some weird number. That's it, grime. Cool. Let's move it. Let's go to our, what do we want? Position. There's position. Now position is slightly different because they're two different parts, not exactly the same on the Y. So you don't see the Y right here, but you do see the Z and the X. Those are the same. On the Z, I'm going to make both of those parts -25. Look at that. Cool beans. And let's change tiger floor to cobra floor. Cobra floor. Let's change our tiger spawn, which is right there, to cobra spawn. Cobra spawn. Cool. Now let's make our teams. Let's go down here. You'll see the team service. You used to have to add that. It comes default now. But on the teams, on the team service, hit the plus, add a team. While you're at it, you can add another team to the teams. So we have 2 teams there. Let's make one tigers. And then turn off auto assignable because we're gonna use a button. And then let's make the color, what was that? Deep orange, match. Go to this team. This will be cobras. Cool. We'll make that grime. There we go. Make sure auto assignable is off. Nice. All right, now let's go to our starter GUI and make our little start button. So we'll hit the plus sign, ScreenGui, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add a frame. So frames hold components. And it's really nice because you can just make the frame invisible rather than making all the components invisible. You can group them nicely. But I want to center this, and there's something called an anchor point. That's my anchor point right now. I can see that little black outline. That is where this component attaches to the ScreenGui when you use your position, right? So I want this to be in the center of my screen. So I want my anchor point to be in the center too. It'll be easier to figure out. So with the frame selected, well, let's change the name. Let's call this Pick Team FRM while I'm here. Now let's go back down to the anchor point. We'll do a 0.5 by 0.5. There, you can see the anchor point changed and the screen kind of moved up a little bit. Now when we go to position, let's open position. Position's complicated because we have multiple numbers. We have X and Y. You can figure that out, right? X is this way, Y is that way. We have scale and offset. So scale is the percentage on the parent object where it's sitting, right? So if I want this to be in the middle, I need a 0.5. This will be 0.5 on my ScreenGui. This is 0.5 on my frame. Let's go ahead on our frame, say 0.5 and 0 pixel offset. Whoops, and it didn't take. Hold on a second. 0.5. I just put it right here on the scale. All right, cool. Let's do the Y. Let's see. I'm going to do it on this Y line, and that way I can do them both at once. Not that I have to change the offset. But if I do 0.5 comma 0, it changes both the scale and the offset. There we go. Cool beans. So size is the same. Size, ooh, look at that. We have pixels. We don't have scale. So I'm going to go to this X line. I'm going to make it 0.3% of the ScreenGui for size on the X. 0 pixel offset. On the Y, I'm going to make it the same, 0.3 and 0. There we go. Now it'll scale. So if we make this smaller by, say, view output, you can see that squished up. That's pretty good when you're using like mobile devices and your players have different platforms and you can't be guaranteed of a pixel size, but there are disadvantages too. You might not want that to squish up. So you'll have to kind of weigh every one of those factors as you're playing around with this and getting better at it. Let's add a plus sign to our pick, what do we call that? Pick team frame. We'll add a text label right here. Let's see, the text label, should we change? Now I'm going to make the background transparency 1 at some point. Oh, I'm on my pick team frame. Let's get the text label. Let's call that message label. Message LBL. Cool. That makes more sense. My position's good. My anchor's good on this one. I'm just going to change my size. So I have this X and this Y. It is 0, 200, which is 0 scale, 200 pixels. I want 1, so 100% on the X for the parent object, 0 pixel offset. There we go. Stretches right across. Cool beans. All right, so the Y, maybe I'll go down 0.5 and then make it 0 pixel offset. There we go. That's not bad. Let's go ahead and put some text on there. Text, sans source. Let's make it bangers. That's my current favorite. And then for the text itself, let's say pick a team exclamation. Cool. Let's make it text scaled. There we go. See how that text scale doesn't always work right? It's kind of hanging out there. We can fix that. Let's just do this. Move that in a little bit. We can move this in a little bit. That's not bad. Pick a team. Cool. All right. And there's a black line around it. What we can do is go to the message label, go to our background transparency and make it 1. And that way, when we make our pick team frame a different color, pick team frame, I make that a different color. Say, I don't know, pink. I think that's the demo. Now it looks like there's no real extra component on top of the frame because the background's transparent. That's handy to know. Let's go to pick team frame, hit the plus, add a text button. This is going to be my tiger button. Tiger button. Cool. It's going to be tigers. So I want to get that color the same as my tigers over here. If you'll notice on buttons, we don't have a brick color here, but we do have a color, a background color 3. I want to make it this color. So I'm going to click on that component right down here, the tiger floor, and then I'm going to go to the color, not the brick color, but the color here. That's the RGB. I'm going to do a copy, Control C. I'm going to go back to my tiger button, go to my background color 3, Control V. Sweet. Now they match. All right, what else are we going to do? We got to change our positions. Okay, it's in scale. We can move that around. All right, and then for size, I'm going to change that. I'm going to make that 0.4 on the X, 0 pixel offset, and then maybe 0.3 on the Y, 0 pixel offset. Yeah, that's not bad. And then we'll go down to the text section. Font, let's make it match, bangers. For text, I'll call this tigers. And I'll do a text scaled. There we go. That's pretty good. I'm going to do a Control D to duplicate it. And I'm just going to pull that duplicated one over. I'm just going to eyeball it. That's pretty good. Let's change the button name to Cobra Button. And then we'll change our color. It's up at the top. Let's go down here. Background color 3. Oh, we want grime. So I'm going to click on this plate here, the Cobra floor. And then now the Cobra floor is selected. I'm going to get the RGB for color, Control C. I just clicked on that to get those 3 numbers. Go to the color button, Control V, under background color 3, and there we go. Cool beans. And then we just got to change our text. Let's do that. Down in the text section, there is a text, Cobras. All right, we are good. So we have a UI, we have teams, we have a place to go, we have a spawn location. And let's go ahead and get a local script. So pick team frame, add local script. All right, we'll call this pick team loc. Let's make this a little bigger so you can see it. What are we going to need here? Let's just get the buttons working. So we'll say tiger button equals script.parent. And then we have our Cobra button. Not script.parent. We got to go down one more level. Script.parent tiger button. Whew, I almost missed it. I got a mistake. So script parent tiger button. You got to go down a level. And let's do that for the Cobra button. Cobra button. Cool. And now we'll do a function, local function. We'll do pick tiger. Do a print, just say tigers. And then we'll do another function, local function, pick cobras or cobra. There we go. And we'll print. Let's do cobras. Let's do tigers. Let's do cobras here. We'll do tigers here. There we go. All right. And now let's hook up our buttons action listener. So we have our tiger button activated, connect, pick tigers. We'll do cobra button activated, connect, pick cobras. Sweet. Let's try it out. We'll hit the view, output window, make this bigger. Hit the play button. There's a play button there, a little one. Tigers, cool. Cobras. Oh, and I didn't put exclamation marks. That's all right. It's just a printout. I'm going to delete it anyway. It's working now. Our buttons are functioning. So now what we need to do is we need to assign the team and then teleport to our area and then make sure we're in the right direction and make sure our camera's in the right direction. So first things first, let's do our teleporting and our team assignment on the server. So I am going to get a variable for replicated storage, game get service, replicated storage. And then in replicated storage, I'm going to need a remote event, replicated storage, hit the plus, add a remote event, and then we'll call this start RE. Start RE. Cool. Let's get a variable to start RE. Start RE. Replicated storage, wait for child, start RE. Nice. We can get rid of this print. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do start RE, colon, fire server, and I am going to pass the team name, Tigers. See that? Tigers. Go down here, confirm that it's spelled the same, or you're going to get an error. You're not actually going to get an error. You're probably not even going to, you're not going to be on a team. So it'll be particularly hard to find. All right. So then after that, let's make our frame disappear before we do anything more. So we could do this, local frm script dot parent. That is in fact the script dot parent, because here is our pick team loc. That's the parent. Good. That's the frame. That's what we want. After we send our event to the server, we'll say frm visible equals false. Nice. Copy this, Control C, go to 13 or whatever your line number is, inside pick cobras, Control V, then we're just going to make this cobras. Remember, that needs to match that name. All right, cool. Now let's go on over to our server stuff. We're going to look in the workspace. Let's just move over here and maybe get this base plate, right? So we have a lobby. Let's select all of this, right? I just did the control click, right click, group. We'll call this map. I actually don't need the lobby in there. I'm going to pull the lobby back out. That's not part of the map. I'm just going to put it there on the workspace. And then it's outside of my map. See? There we go. All right. So I hit this plus. I'm going to add a script right in here. I was going to do it in server script service, but I figured, we'll put it all on the map. We'll say map MGR, map manager, right? Maybe that's big enough to see. In my map manager, remember, I want to get replicated storage. So I get my remote event, game, get service, replicated storage, and then we'll do, I forgot. Oh, start RE, replicated storage, wait for child, start RE. That needs to be spelled the same. The same as what's in right here. Start RE, start RE. Same with the client side, right? So those two lines of code are going to match up on your pick team loc. All right, let's continue. So we have that. We need the teams service. So we'll go get game, get service, teams, teams. And then what else will we need? Let's get our spawn locations, right? So tiger spawn will be script.parent and tiger spawn. There we go. Same with the cobra spawn. Cobra spawn, script.parent, cobra spawn. And what else? Anything. Do we need players? No, I think we're good. All right, let's make a function, local function. I'm going to say enter game. Enter game. All right, we're going to get a player, and then we're going to get a choice. This is going to catch the event from the client that actually had the tigers and the cobras. It's going to be here. Player is just saying, hey, it came from this person. We didn't put that variable there. It's going to be there. But choice is going to be our tigers or our cobras. This is why it's got to be spelt right. Oh, yeah, let's see. Player team equals teams square brackets. Square bracket choice. So teams is going to have an array of all of the teams in it, right? And the choice will be cobras, or tigers. So we're assigning the team to the player right there in one line of code. The rest is just going to be for teleporting. So let's get our character. So player.character or player.character added weight. All right, and that'll be stuffed into that variable right there. Then we can get our humanoid root part from the char, find first child humanoid root part. Make sure it's spelled right. A lot of people get the I and the O mixed up right here. Humanoid. All right, we got that. We can say if choice equals tigers, make sure you spell it right. Then, and it's got to be the team name, we'll say HRP cframe equals cframe.new cobra spawn. No, tiger spawn. There we go. I lost track. Tiger spawn, and that's the position. We want to face the cobra spawn. That's the second argument, right? Position, orientation. Orientation, in this case, will come in the direction of which way we're facing. Cobra spawn position. Let me go back here. I'm just going to, should I make this a little smaller? There. It's all, it doesn't quite make it. All right, I will do another line. There we go. I should have just made those smaller variables. All right, we got that. Let's go ahead and just copy. Now let's do this. Hit an enter, and then else if choice equals cobras, then now I'm going to copy this. Control C, put that there. We got to switch these two, right? So this is going to be tiger spawn is going to be the direction we're facing. Cobra spawn is going to be the position. So we'll say cobra spawn. Cool. What else? Oh, how do we fire that? Well, we have to catch the remote event, the start RE. Start RE on server event, connect to enter game. And let's get rid of those two extra parentheses. Sweet. All right, let's try it. Hit the play, view, output, just to make sure nothing bad happens. Now I'm going to do the cobras first. Let's do the tigers first, because I think the cobras is going to be the backwards camera. So this is good. I'm looking in the right direction. My character's looking in the right direction, and so is the camera. If we die, that's the only way out of here is to die. Yes. There we go. I believe this is okay, so I'm going to undo this. Now when I go to the cobras, look at that. My guy is in the right direction, but my camera ideally should be facing my opponent. I would be at a disadvantage. Let's go ahead and fix that. That will be the final modification of this experiment, right? So we have a remote event. When we finish our teleport, let's go ahead and say start RE : fire client, and we have to say who we're going to. So that's the player. And I don't want to have to try and get that character again. So I'm going to send the character. Cool. All right. Now over on our client, which is our pick team loc, right? Or on your, you can go to your pick team frame, pick team loc. We're going to catch that event, right? So we're going to get the start RE, and I'm going to say on client event connect. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do an anonymous function. So there is no name here. It's going to be in line, right? I'm going to stick it right in here in between those parentheses. No name is required. Player, this is where the parameters go. Player will not be needed. It should not, you shouldn't put it there. It just says where to go, and it's going to your client. But the char will be there, and we will have to get it. Then we're going to say local camera workspace current camera. So we're going to get a camera, and we're going to modify it. And the reason I pass my character over is because I want to get the humanoid root part from the character. We'll do a wait character : wait for child humanoid root part. I guess I could have sent that over too. Now we need a position for a camera. So I'm going to say POS for position. HRP dot position. Right. So we're going to get our humanoid root parts position. Then we are going to add negative. Let's do a negative HRP C-frame dot look vector times 5. Right. So we're going to go in the direction we're looking back 5 studs because we have that negative sign there. Right. Also, I want to move it up a little bit. So I could just do this plus. Should I go to the next line? Yeah, let's go to the next line. Vector 3 dot new 0, and then y is the height, 3 and 0. So that's going to move my camera to the HRP position. It's going to move it back 5 studs from the direction I'm looking in, and then I'm going to move it up 3, right? Well, I'm not doing it yet. I'm just picking that position. Let's go ahead and set the C frame, and that's actually what's going to do it. So I'll say camera C frame equals C frame dot new position. There we go. So that's where the camera's going to be. Where is it looking? We'll say char head position. So the head has a position too. Sweet. That's pretty good. Let's give it a try. Oh, if you guys are familiar with cameras and you're wondering why I didn't set the camera to scriptable, if you're moving your camera and the scriptable is not set, the camera's default scripts could kick in and mess you up. This is an instantaneous change of the C frame. So we're not worried about the camera's default scripts kicking in. We don't have to set it to scriptable. So let's go ahead and hit play. There we go. Which one was messed up? Cobras. Let's try that first. Boom. We're looking in the right position. Let's check for errors. Output window. Oh, no errors. Looking good. Let's die. Make sure we didn't mess up tigers. Oh. Right. And we're going to switch sides. Tigers. Yes. Nice. All right. So that was I know that was a long one. Good luck with that. It's got a lot of good stuff in it, team service and camera stuff.